Let's see. Can you read what it says in that question mark?
What comes next?
What comes next?
Yes.
All of these lines up here have something that comes next. For example, it starts out really easy, right? What comes next?
4, 5.
4, okay. What about this one? What comes next? 8, 4, 2, 1. Who said 1? 1 comes next. Okay, how about this one right here? What comes next in this sequence of numbers? Everything has something that comes next. Does anybody know what this one is? It's a sequence that 8. It's that Fibonacci sequence, right? You ever hear that? You just add the numbers together. Okay, how about this one? These letters. What letter would come next? Anybody know what would be the next letter in the sequence? Anybody figure that one out? It stands for something that we deal with every day, basically. It's a common, these stand for words that kind of come in an order.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so the next one is a W. How about this? These are abbreviations here. What would come next? As a college student, you should know.
Oh, junior?
Right.
Okay.
Right, JR. Okay, now here's a controversial one. Everything has something that comes next. How about this? We all live, and then this is on our calendar. We just don't know when. But is that the end, or does something come next?
Eternal life.
There is an eternity. There's a place to go, right? Is every place to go after people die a good place? I mean, will there finally be a court of law that demands justice? You know, all of us get mad because some people literally get away with murder. Isn't that true? I mean, can you get away with it? Hey, you got away with it, somebody else didn't. Or is there a God that is concerned about us, that he says, I am going to provide a place that doesn't have the turmoil, and you know who creates the turmoil? I'm one of them, and I'm looking at a bunch. How many here ever told a lie? That creates turmoil. That's not going to make your relationships wonderful, right? There's 9 other statements like that, or commandments, that produce the same kind of friction in life, right? Here's someone who came and said, I will provide a place for you. I'm going to go prepare it. And he never did anything that caused hatred or turmoil to others. He showed love, and they finally had enough of his love, and what'd they do? Yeah, we're going to celebrate his death in a month, right? And so here was someone who said, you take my life, meaning you kill me, I die. I'll raise it up again. And sure enough, 3 days later, after his death, he rose from the grave. So he proved that there was something after life. Ladies and gentlemen, college students, the good news is this, that God offers to the human race. People get all uptight about race. I don't know why, there's only one. It's called the human race. There's just a lot of variety in it, right? Sometimes the world just puts a stamp on things to just make trouble like this, right? Listen, none of us here can kind of pat ourselves on the back and say, you know what? You've done a good job. These weren't just written on stone tablets, they were written on the human heart. Do you agree? Has your conscience ever bothered you? Sure it has. Mine has. And it's usually when it's in violation of these. It starts young, with your parents, not honoring them. They know more than me and you. And most of the time, hopefully, they love you enough to raise you to teach you those things. Now, that's not always the case. 3 of my kids were left in foster care, and one was actually in an abortion clinic 5 minutes from death and the lady changed her mind, gave birth, we adopted her. She's 35 years old now with kids. Life is a precious, precious gift. But all of us have violated these commandments. My friends, I say these things because truth matters. Truth is not relative. You cannot make up truth to satisfy yourself. I had a daughter that had ovarian cancer, and she was told that she was pregnant. She was told that she had a cyst in her abdomen after an ultrasound, and then she was told that she had a cancerous tumor through not an ultrasound, MRI. Did my daughter get to choose what problem she had? Well, she had what she had. She better choose to fight the right thing, which she did. So I still have a daughter. My friends, this is good news, because what comes next is God says we have to give an account of how we've lived to God, right? And you're going to be found either innocent or guilty of having kept or broken these laws. I already knew the verdict for me. I was in trouble. I mean, I broke all those by the time I was a teenager. I knew I needed mercy. I needed forgiveness. Jesus came to provide that through his death, burial, and resurrection. And what I did was this. I trusted him. Do you trust anybody today? Everybody wondering, what is this person up to? It's hard to trust almost anybody. Well, you better start trusting people, because if you don't, you'll have crap for relationships. You got to trust people. The longer you're with them, if you find that they're true to their word and the way they behave, your relationship will come closer. You may even get to the point where you say, I'm going to stay with you until death kills me. It's called marriage. My friends, God says, I will stay with you forever. I will never leave you or forsake you. But this is the road you've got to come through. You've got to come through Jesus. There's not a lot of roads, there's one. Jesus said, I am that road. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the living and true God except through his Son, who claimed to be God in the flesh. That's good news. And I appreciate those of you that have listened. I have a little booklet here.